and welcome to my channel, Mary Bourne ND and Gardening with Granny. I'd like to show you around. It's the end of September and there's not a whole lot going on here in Michigan garden-wise, but let's get to it. We'll start here in my 3 green stalks, and yep, I still have tomatoes. These are the little Tom Thumbs, little cherry tomatoes, and they look delicious. I've got some sage growing. The oregano kind of went to bloom, but I still should be able to harvest some of that before the frost. Strawberries are well seeded for next year. Got dill, which is really nice because the first planting of dill has gone to seed, and those seeds actually have sprouted. Got marigold, looking really pretty. This is some thyme. So I'm going to dehydrate some of those. My freeze dryer is going full strong right now with cucumbers in it. There's some more little tomatoes. Swiss chard. More tomatoes, but those are green. Some basil. And lots of lovely parsley. So I think my dehydrator is going to be going pretty strong. I really would prefer to freeze dry herbs, but like I said, it's pretty busy right now. So we'll go the old-fashioned dehydrator way. Lettuce came in, not a whole lot. It hasn't been very warm, but got another flush of green beans and purple beans. That should be fun for dinner. And these peppers were supposed to be sweet. You can see how windy it is, but they are hot, and I don't do hot. So I might dehydrate those and find somebody who likes hot. And over here our dahlia is going strong, looking beautiful. And if you can see down below, I've got lots of nasturtium blooming. It really is a good spot for them. I'm not sure if you can see, those are yellow tomatoes down there, little cherry type tomatoes. They are so delicious. You can see the trees are turning color. Those are sassafras trees. The big oak behind it. We've given it some nutrition, but I don't know if it's going to make it. It's a beautiful day, my kind of day. Outside the front door, we've got our geraniums and caladium. Watch for a video on those two. I will be bringing them in and propagating them. And it'll be my first time for the caladiums, but I've been enjoying these so much. And this seems to be a really good spot for them. And they don't start blooming, or not really blooming, but growing until it gets pretty hot. So we'll see how those turn out. The Brunnera is doing really well. And this is the time of the year where the ferns are dying back. I could probably trim them so that we could see more of this beautiful Brenna. Begonia looks pretty. I put this in maybe a month now. And snapdragons are really looking lovely. It's a really pretty one here. And I cut back my moonflower, but there's still some blooms on it. The asters are in bloom, looking really pretty. I love the color of those. And this was another begonia. And lots of weeds, unfortunately. My health made it so I wasn't able to do this garden justice. Some more snapdragons there. And these are just about done, these pots. We're going to do something with our apples next week. They're falling off the tree and they're a pretty good size. They usually have some worms in them, but I can often work around them. And Coleus is still looking very pretty. I really do like this variegated color. Little quick-fire hydrangea is hanging in there, I'll tell you, fighting its way through the grass. Hopefully next year I'll be able to get in here and weed or find somebody to help me with it. I'm just happy that they're surviving. Mums are starting to show some color. And I love this New Guinea impatient variegated leaf. Gorgeous. Across the way, our lacy maple is doing really good. Not coloring up just yet. Generally, it has a lot more vibrancy, but I think it needs a frost, and that isn't until a couple more weeks, hopefully. The cannas are reblooming, and the rockin' deep purple salvia. And this mum is looking pretty amongst all the grass and thistle and begonia. My Spanish lavender, such an interesting bloom on it. Smells really lovely. I think I'll pick some of those and dry it. I'll definitely repeat the planting of dahlias in the cloth or bags. These were 7-gallon bags, and you can see the dahlias are really doing good. I've been picking them for bouquets. So lovely. And that's some kind of artemisia there hiding behind the viney weed. And comfrey, lots of it. And that's yellow dock, the tall, growing there with the, looks like little seeds on it. Horseradish is doing great, like usual. More of these beautiful dahlias. Here's another sage plant. That's my original, doing really good. And I have to harvest that. Although I've seen that one with snow on it. Butterfly bush. Gave us some concern this spring, but boy, it's doing great. Peonies are at rest, waiting for springtime. Next year I should have a hollyhock come up. This was first planting this year for that hollyhock, and it doesn't do much the first year. Mandevilla is hanging in there, looking lovely. Pick some chives and celery leaves, and they're in the freeze dryer. They make a wonderful seasoning. But there's still lots of celery leaves. I got a nasturtium here that planted itself. So I'm going to pick some of the seeds from it and start those in this maybe January, February. I love the variegation. I picked quite a few peppers the other day. The ones that are left on here are quite small. These are bell peppers. I think they were supposed to turn orange, but didn't happen. Over here we have zucchini, and I have picked a couple of them. And I don't see any growing. Oh, take it back. There is one. Perfect size. The beans have dried on the stalks, but I'm not going to save these. I don't care for vining beans. I prefer bush type. And look at that lovely tomato. This nasturtium looks like it's ready to bloom. Pretty. Looks like it'll be like a orange, burnt orange maybe. We'll see, hopefully. And there's our baby dill. It'll be enough for like dill weed. Well, it looks like I forgot some onions here. I have to see if I can pry them up. Most of the beds have basically been done. Time to clean them out. My cucumber plants are doing great. I'll have to show you that video. That was a surprise. I got 2 14-inch cucumbers off of that plant. If there's enough time, I may get some more. This was a latecomer, but boy, what a producer it was. Black lace elderberry is so pretty. I love the ferns and ferny look to it. And we do have some elderberry seed. Berries, but mostly seed. And here's the standard elderberry that I've already cut 2 or 3 feet off of. And I should cut it down again because it'll be a tree before we know it. hibiscus are done. They were beautiful. Can't wait for next year. The grass looks so pretty in the bird garden. Just what we wanted to make it look like the bird was coming out of the grass. That maple looks so gorgeous. It's really an enjoyable tree. And against the white pine and the blue sky, very pretty. This is goldenrod, and a lot of people confuse it with allergy season, thinking that that's the culprit, but goldenrod is actually beneficial for allergies. The tulip poplar tree is showing the signs of the season. Such an interesting leaf. It's big and broad. Don't get a chance to see the blooms very much. They kind of blend in with the tree. They're green with a little bit of yellow. Well, I think we'll end here where the grapevines are and these lovely caladium, which I'm sure will be included in my experiment with seeing if I can propagate caladiums. They're pretty expensive. You can still use the grapevine, the grape leaves. I use them in dill pickles, and the tannins help to keep the pickles crisp. There's the anise hyssop, or anise hyssop, I've heard it called both. That's a perennial, and it should come back next year. And this is our sanctuary for butterflies. Milkweed. They love to lay their eggs under the leaf, but I'm sure they're gone by now. They've already migrated south. Last year I harvested the seeds and spread them in like a forested area. I haven't gone back there this year yet to see if any of them took. I think I spread like 500 of them. And there's the final black hollyhock of the year. And hopefully it'll be back next year. It was such a pretty plant. Well, thanks for joining me. Stay tuned for other videos. And this is Mary.